Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now there is a lot going on in the Bitcoin charts that is important to discuss in this video. And in this video, I will be going over some important Bitcoin news today. So for you Bitcoin holders out there, definitely make sure you're watching to the end of the video so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And if that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future videos. And also, if you're enjoying these updates every single day here on the channel, make sure to share them around with your friends as well, because coming up could potentially be a great opportunity to buy Bitcoin. Once again, I will be explaining that in this video. So there's never been a better time to share these videos around with your friends. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, quickly hiding these indicators right here to begin with. Straight away, what we can see is the fact that the Bitcoin price has obviously run into this massive red zone of resistance over the past couple of days, and we have entered a bit more of a cool-off period as expected, when we were actually pumping to the upside right here after seeing that huge short squeeze, which by the way, we were talking about on this channel 2 days before it happened, right when Bitcoin was reaching this red zone here at roughly around 40 to 41,000 US dollars. That's when I was basically saying that Bitcoin is due for a bit of a cool off here. We are due for a bit of a cool off, and I am continuing to expect that in the immediate short term. I do not actually see a major move to the upside in the immediate short term. Of course, when you're looking at the bigger timeframes, I do expect a big move to the upside within the next few weeks and months, but just talking about in the immediate short term, as in over the next few days or so, the Bitcoin price could be potentially set up for a new accumulation zone starting to form right here. So there's a few different reasons on the chart right now that shows us that this could be the case. So first of all, of course, this major resistance between 40,000 and 42,000. I've mentioned time and time again over the past 2 months on this channel, considering the fact that over the past 2 months, basically Bitcoin's just head sideways. When you look at it, really, we've been ranging between 30 to 40,000 US dollars over the past 2 months, and almost every day on this channel over the past 2 months. Once again, I've been saying that if Bitcoin breaks above 42,000 with confirmation, I will flip very bullish on Bitcoin. But of course, we have not seen that just yet, so we can't get ahead of ourselves just yet. So we still have to treat this red zone just here as resistance for the Bitcoin price, which is already starting to play out. Not only that, but in the shorter term RSI just here, so for example, on the 4-hour time frame, we are beginning just a short-term downtrend in the RSI, while on the daily RSI, we have slightly reached these overbought areas on the daily RSI, and we are now beginning to come back to the downside. Now, keep in mind that I actually do not expect any major crash. I just expect potentially a little bit more downside price action over the next couple days, which would mostly end up being an accumulation zone within this area right here, in between roughly 40,000 to 36,000. We do have strong short-term support at 36.5K. While we are on the daily time frame just here, I thought I should obviously talk about the daily candle closes over the past 9 days. We have seen 9 daily green candles in a row, 9 consecutive bullish candles on the daily time frame just here, which actually does not happen too often in the Bitcoin price. So it is perfectly normal to expect a bit of red just here. In fact, if this continued to pump to the upside over the next few days, from my perspective, that would almost come across as market manipulation if we actually pump to the upside in the immediate short term, considering the massive bullish streak that we have had over the past 9 days once again. So even though in the immediate short term, if you're looking on the really small time frames, you know, things might look a little bit bearish in the short term, realistically, when you're actually zooming out on the daily time frame, for example, the bearish price action that we could potentially see in the short term will not be very significant on the bigger time frames like the daily time frame, and especially like the weekly time frame, for example. I do not really expect any bearish price action in the short term here to actually display itself on the weekly time frame. So all of this is talking about the short term. I want to make that clear, because if we think that Bitcoin is going to be bearish in the short term but bullish in the longer term, that is an opportunity for you to accumulate some Bitcoin at some cheaper prices before we begin exploding to the upside once again. Now, not only that, but we did also see a small bearish divergence form here on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. As you can see just there, we got a high and a higher high in the price, and in the RSI, a high and a lower high. I did actually cover this yesterday on the channel, and this is already playing out as expected, because once again, a bearish divergence basically means in the immediate short term, we're going to stop heading to the upside, and we're either in for a bit of sideways price action, if not slightly to the downside. So this right here is pretty much what I normally expect out of a bearish divergence. And on top of all of that, we have now seen a doji candle candle form on the daily chart just here for Bitcoin. This doji candle is a specific type of candle where the candle body is incredibly thin and we have wicks to either side. And this candle is usually a sign of a trend reversal. Now, once again, I do not expect a full trend reversal, you know, all the way down to these lower price levels just here. So once again, that candle that we saw on the daily time frame, the doji candle, is another reason on the Bitcoin chart that tells us we could potentially be in for a bit of bearish price action in the immediate short term. And on top of all of that, bringing out the Bollinger Bands here on the daily time frame, as you can see, the Bitcoin price was overextended out of these Bollinger Bands for a couple days here over the past 2 to 3 days. But right now we have seen a nice rejection along the top of these bands. And already this daily candle is looking red, which once again is something to be expected after we see 9 green candles in a row. So that is something to pay attention to as well. And also that is another reason why we could be potentially in for a bit of bearish price action. If not bearish price action, mostly just consolidation in around this area once again. And on top of all of that, we have the 100-day moving average right now, providing huge resistance for the Bitcoin price in the immediate short term. Now, eventually, I do expect this moving average to be broken. In fact, this moving average has to be broken eventually. It's only a matter of time before Bitcoin breaks above this moving average right here. Once again, that is the 100-day simple moving average, which is right now coming in at roughly around 40,000 US dollars, give or take. So I'm just simply letting you guys know what I am seeing on the charts at all times. Once again, when Bitcoin was at around 32,000 US dollars at these much lower price levels, I was flipping extremely bullish on Bitcoin, telling you all that we are likely to see a short squeeze. We are likely to see a large move to the upside sometime soon. And at that stage, when the Bitcoin price was looking a little bit more bearish for most people out there, I was getting a lot of comments telling me that I was just a perma bull, I was a moon boy, and that Bitcoin is looking really bearish. We're about to dump to much lower price levels, all of that sort of stuff. But of course, you can actually see what played out here in the end. And so if anything, right now, I'm showing that I'm not always a moon boy. I'm simply telling you what I'm seeing on the charts. And right now, I am seeing a few different bearish signs. But once again, all of those signs are in the short term. I want to make that clear. I don't want to, cause a panic in the markets or anything, because you should never be panic selling Bitcoin. One of the best Bitcoin strategies for the beginners out there is simply to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and hold for the longer term. Do not panic sell on any bearish price action, especially just short-term bearish price action like this, because it's the panic sellers and the panic buyers that lose money the fastest. So how you can use this information to make you some money? Well, first of all, if we do see a bit of a short-term pullback here, once again, that can get you some cheaper Bitcoin compared to the current prices. Now, for the beginners out there, I would not be selling Bitcoin to try and buy back in lower, because that is a risky strategy if you are a beginner. I myself, right now, I'm actually not in any trades, and I'll be using this as a potential opportunity to enter a long position at these lower levels of support just here. And of course, I'll continue to keep you guys updated on this channel and over on my Twitter as this plays out. And by the way, I've been getting a lot of comments for the new viewers on the channel asking me how I actually trade and what I actually use to trade. And once again, I never recommend trading for the absolute beginners out there. But if you do want to learn how I actually trade and what I use to trade, I do have a link to a video that I made roughly around a week ago in the description down below and in the pinned comment as well. That will take you to a full trading tutorial that I made on the channel roughly around a week ago once again. And if you're wondering what I actually use to trade, I do actually use the Bybit exchange, but once again, this is not for beginners. Trading, especially if you're using leverage, is risky. But if you do want to check it out for yourself, I do have a link to this down below as well in the description. Now, getting into the Bitcoin news today, right now, Binance, one of the biggest crypto exchanges out there, will be shutting down their crypto derivatives trading platform in Europe, starting with Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. So this is due to regulation in these countries starting to step in. And of course, we knew this was going to happen with bigger exchanges, because as the entire crypto market becomes more and more mainstream, we're obviously going to have regulation step in for a lot of the top crypto exchanges out there, and also for a lot of altcoin projects out there as well. So look, something like this could potentially spark a little bit of fear in the markets, which is also coming at a time where the Bitcoin price is running into resistance and all of those other reasons that I discussed. But realistically, this doesn't really matter for Bitcoin, because once again, Binance is just one exchange, and it's only the derivatives platform on the Binance exchange that is going to be shut down in only these specific countries. And of course, Bitcoin is one of the very few things in the crypto market as a whole that would be be extremely hard, if not impossible, to regulate because, of course, Bitcoin has no central authority, making it so much harder to actually bring down. So honestly, I'll give this a week and this would likely blow over within 1 to 2 weeks because realistically, once again, on the grand scheme of things, this really doesn't matter that much. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. And if you're enjoying these videos every single day here on the channel, consider sharing them around with your friends as well, because right now we are potentially in for another nice buying opportunity if you are holding for the longer term once again. And considering the fact that the mainstream has now turned their heads a little bit away from Bitcoin, there's never been a better time to remain active in these markets, and there's never been a better time to get involved in these markets and share these videos around. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video once again. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.